Then also, for fairness to be there, these AI tools need to be tested continuously to detect and rectify bias. As you know, the world is changing. And as I told you before, these models, they operate from the information, the data that was used to train them, and the processes that have been applied for them to come up with that particular solution. So as things change, as the world moves, the data at times also changes, or the performance of the AI might not suit the current population or the current environment that people will be operating in. So these systems, they need to be tested continuously so that any bias or any issues that might be rising can be tested and detected, and bias can be rectified. So in general, we are just saying AI tools should be fair. And then we move on to accountability. Last time we were asking and we were talking about issues where probably an AI tool has malfunctioned, or probably it produces an error, or probably it does a function that it wasn't supposed to do. Who then is it? Who should we blame? Is it the developer, or probably the person who developed the tool? Probably they were working as a group. Who should we put the blame to? So for us to have ethics in artificial intelligence, then there should be clear responsibilities for each AI system's outcomes. In other ways, we are just saying for a system outcome that will come out from the AI, we should have a clear responsibility for whoever it is before it is even implemented, so that even if we face a challenge, we know who to blame, we know who to give, not blame necessarily, but we know who is supposed to be responsible for that outcome. So you find that where there are clear responsibility for AI systems outcomes, then people can trust the artificial intelligence tool more. Imagine when you are just given a tool and you don't even know how it operates, you don't even know what you're likely to get from it, and then probably it works for you for some time, and then after some time, it begins to give you problems, and you have no one to blame, you have no one to ask. Then in that case, AI becomes a problem. So we need people to trust AI, and that can be achieved when there are clear responsibilities of any outcome that comes from the AI tool. Then you also want to ensure accountability also ensures ethical use and mitigates potential harm. Like I said also before, when there is accountability, then a potential harm is mitigated, because when there is a person who has to be accountable for everything that comes out, of course, they will ensure that their system or their tool does not harm others. Then also, when there is accountability, excessive trust in AI, where there is no accountability, excessive trust in artificial intelligence tools can lead to misguided decisions. Sometimes you might actually believe that the tool can perform a certain function. Suppose you're thinking the AI tool can make probably a self-driven car, and then you trust it that it can do that, and then all of a sudden, while you're thinking that it's going to drive as you know it, sometimes it doesn't. So in that case, you might actually make a decision thinking that the tool is going to operate as you are thinking. So in that case, where there is no accountability, excessive trust in the AI tool can lead to misguided decisions. Then we talk now about transparency. I look at it as unpacking the black box, because what happens now when we are using these AI tools is like we have the information that is inputted, the data and all the information that is inputted into the instructions that are going to be given to that particular information using these softwares or these algorithms or whatever, and then magic comes out. You enter data, and then the next thing you see a car moving on its own. So now, what exactly is it that happened for the input to produce such an output? That's what I'm talking about, unpacking the black box. Where there is transparency, we have to understand what exactly is it that happened for that output to come out. What kind of data was used? What kind of algorithms were used? What kind of validation process was applied for us to get that output? So we want to ensure that AI systems are explainable and understandable. In other ways, we need to clear the black box. We need to understand what was done to the information that was inputted and what actually made this output that we are seeing right now. So this there has to be an explanation for decisions that are made by AI for easier decision making by human beings, so that we remove ambiguity. It means that when you are to use an AI tool, where there are ethics being applied, then you should be in a position to understand that no, the reason why this tool is producing this outcome is because the data that was tested was obtained from this particular, and it contains information like this, like this, like this, and these are the algorithms that were applied to this information. They work like this, and this is the reason why we have this particular output. Then also information should be shared freely across stakeholders. When you're talking about stakeholders, we are talking about all the parties that are involved in the use and the production of the that particular AI tool. We can talk about the developers, we can talk about the clients, we can also talk about even the people who are going to be using the AI tool. Information should be shared freely so that there is transparency. So in other ways, where there are AI ethics, there has to be fairness, there has to be accountability, there has to be transparency. So understanding AI, it enables us to navigate the complex landscape of AI, going beyond avoiding harm or bias. It builds trust, and it mitigates the risks that are likely to be seen where there is no fairness, where there is no accountability, and where there is no transparency.